All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Wednesday night in Thyroid Healthy Balance. If you're new to the group, a very, very warm welcome. I'm absolutely thrilled you're here. And tonight is going to be focusing on inspiring you to really get the fittest that you can possibly get in this lifetime, right? And even with the thyroid condition. So there is quite a few steps that need to be taken before we get to that point where we can really stretch the rubber band to actually achieve your best level of fitness, right? So I'm going to go through that tonight and break it down and hopefully inspire you to shift from the mindset that because you have a thyroid condition or a thyroid challenge and they are 100% varied. I'm not putting them all in the same basket. I'm just saying that once you establish cohesion with your thyroid, and when your thyroid is very well supported and you've got a few other things going on as well, you can actually move your body and mobilize your body and move your body to achieve a level of fitness that you may not have actually ever experienced before. Because the reason why I really wanted to talk about this tonight is because several years ago, I had a discussion with another, probably above peer practitioner at the time who said to me, you know what, like with Hashimoto's, honestly, you shouldn't really do high intensity exercise. Just keep it to yoga and these types of things. Now, I'm not saying that yoga is I mean, of course, that's of course advantageous. I mean, yoga is great. However, if you're wanting cardiovascular fitness and to build muscle integrity, we really, to a degree, we really need to shift out of that mindset that this is the only thing. Now, I'm not saying that this is something for you to do straight away, and I'm going to break it down into steps. So hang in there with me so that I can explain. Okay, so first of all, what I'd love to ask is, for those of you who are here and for those of you who are watching the replay later on, just do a hashtag replay so that I know that you watched this. And for those of you that are coming in at any time, I would love you to drop it in the comments. Just be honest, just really feel into your body and feel into yourself and just really pick a score, pick a number out of 10. What number would you be if 10 is the best level of fitness you've ever experienced in your life? And 0 is, you feel incredibly unfit, you're struggling to breathe upon exertion, and, you struggle to do day-to-day things because you feel that you have a low level of fitness. That would be, like you can't get off the couch. That would be 0, right? At this point in time. So wherever you are, I'd love to know, because I'm really trying to ascertain, like right now, I feel the fittest I've ever been, but I haven't always felt that way. In fact, I have felt like 3, 4 out of 10 in the past. Certainly when I was newly diagnosed and had quite a lot on my plate, I felt very unfit and quite breathless at times. So, it's not, excuse me, itchy nose. It's not linear. It's not like the further you go on with your health challenge, it gets worse or it gets better. It just is what it is right now. So I'd love to know. Just drop it in the comments what number out of 10 you are. And you're the judge of that. Not me. You're the judge of that. Just to drop a score, because down the track, you may come back to this live training and think, oh, wow, I was a 3 or a 4 or a 5 out of 10, and now I'm a 7 or an 8 or even a 6 out of 10. Okay? So this is what's possible with the right support for your body and right support for your thyroid. And you know what? I'm wearing this medal and I'm going to take this off in a moment And I'm wearing it because I feel incredible having achieved the level of fitness that I have and working on a goal that I actually thought was just a glimpse of a possibility 5 years ago. I actually thought there's no way I could do that. I even said there's no way I could do that. And Sunday week ago, I actually competed in the half Ironman in Western Australia in Busselton, and I completed it. Now I didn't get a medal, like I mean, everyone got a medal. So this is a completion medal, and I'm incredibly proud of myself because there was many times that I thought I couldn't do it. In fact, 6 weeks ago, prior to the event, I actually, because for that level of event, I had a coach because I didn't know what I was doing. Like I needed a coach. I've got a very amazing, beautiful coach who knows me so well and understands my condition and understands my mindset and understands so many things about me. She's amazing. And I remember 6 weeks ago, even 6 weeks prior to the event, I rang her and I said, I don't think I can do this. I don't think I can do this. I started to get stress and anxiety. And then my coach and I had a discussion. And then I reminded myself of the things that I teach my clients, which I had forgotten about. And that is to keep your head where your body is. Keep your head where your body is. Now, what I mean by that is our mind has the ability to derail us. Our mind has the power and capacity to completely throw us off track. Our mind can talk us into anything. It can actually undermine us, so many things. And, sometimes if you allow that story to take hold and you follow that story, you can spiral out. And what I mean by that, for those of you who suffer from anxiety or overwhelm, and it may well be a symptom if you have Hashimoto's in particular, or Graves actually, it's when you're following that story and that line of thought instead of just trusting in the process and listening to your heart. Listening to your heart. So how did I circuit break that moment, that massive wobble 6 weeks prior to this event? I remembered that this is what I used to do way back when. I remembered that this was a little glimpse of the old Megan that used to get quite overwhelmed and stressed, which is most likely one of the big triggers for my thyroid condition in the first place. And I have worked so hard over the years to completely change that way. However, it glimpsed back into my life 6 weeks prior to this event. And I remembered that that's actually just my mind. It's just a trick. And, before I knew it, I was just listening to my heart and just listening to my body and just trusting in the process. Because if you just follow that thought pattern and that thought story, absolutely, it can take you anywhere. It can take you to stress land, making a mountain out of a molehill, like really, really getting stressed about something. However, my coach reminded me that I have not only been working on this since this official start of the training, which was in July, I've been working on this for the past 5 years, just by starting with a little 4-kilometer walk, right? A 4-kilometer walk is actually where I started on this journey. 1 lap of the swimming pool is actually how I started to swim. I couldn't swim before 2017. I could not swim a lap of a 50-meter pool before 2017. Didn't learn how to swim. I learned as far as not drowning. That's it. So, you know, let's say, you know, my technique is still shocking because, you know, learning swimming as an adult is very different to learning how to swim as a child, you know, because when you're a child, you know, your muscles, you know, your mind, your body, your muscles, you know, you're able to pick it up really, really quickly. Tell me, drop it in the comments, who here learned how to swim when they were a child or as a teenager? I would love to know because if I had that time again, I would have said, hey, parents, take me to swimming lessons, you know, let me learn how to swim. But, you know, we work with what we've got, right? But yeah, drop it in the comments. Let me know if you can swim because swimming is such a beautiful sport. I'm just going to tangent off here at the moment, but swimming is such a beautiful action. It's a whole body workout. It's very gentle. It's very, very gentle. It's great for cardiovascular fitness. And with a thyroid condition, it actually helps twofold because especially with Hashimoto's and Graves actually, cold water immersion is really beneficial. And the other thing is, you know, when you're underwater, like when you're swimming in water, it's just so peaceful. There's no noise. You're surrounded by water. It's just very, very nurturing. So yeah, who here are swimmers? Let me know. Oh, I'm just reading the comments now. Fantastic, Sharon, a 7 or an 8. I love it. Sharon's one of our beautiful clients. She's been doing incredibly well on her working on her fitness. I love it. And how good would it be to get to a 10 or an 11 or a 12? Shell, swimming just came naturally. Oh, fantastic. Love it, Shell. Yes, an island girl, of course. 5 or 6. That's fantastic, Shell. That's great. That's beautiful. Love it. You know, this is all about where you are now. And then you can look back and go, okay, well, let's just stretch the rubber band here. Let's just nudge this a little bit and see where we can go. Leanne says, was a 1 and now feels 6 or a 7 due to a glute issue. Yeah, absolutely. Like sometimes we take 2 steps forward and then we can sustain like an injury and it feels like we take a step back. And that could be a situation where the wheels fall off and you let it all go. Or it could also be an opportunity to strengthen an area of your body that needs strengthening to continue on your journey. Yeah, it's all mindset is huge there. Absolutely huge. Sharon says, I used to swim a mile a day. Oh, wow. That's fantastic. And 2 miles a day at age 9. Oh, that's amazing. So Sharon, you're a swimmer. I did not know this. Beautiful. Yeah, I love it. Yeah, so wherever you are at, I can tell you now, there is so much more that you can do. 100%. Because our body, the human body, thrives on building muscle. The human body thrives on exercise. It does very well on exercise. In fact, you know, the conditioning through a traditional office work environment where you're sitting at a desk 9 to 5 is not healthy and not great for the human body. The human body wants to move around, shift, okay? So this is why building in an exercise and fitness regime is so incredibly important. So let me just get to the steps and break it down of what I did to get thyroid fit, because I'm really proud to say that I actually do feel the fittest I've ever felt, right? Now, I haven't done anything since Sunday a week ago, just walking my dog. So if I continue this way, I'm probably going to get unfit very, very quickly. So I need to pick it up again, but I'm just allowing myself to have a nice break. And that's what we do. You know, we ebb and flow. We ebb and flow according to our body's needs and then give gentle nudges in between so that we can actually then achieve a better level of fitness. Okay. All right. So continue with the comments. Drop them in. All right. So I'm just going to break this down. So step one. So wherever you are starting, your nervous system 100% needs to be supported. Okay. Now, what I mean by that is we need adequate sleep would be the first thing to look at. Like if your sleep is subpar or your sleep isn't great, or you're waking up in the morning and you're feeling quite fatigued and you've got that flatline fatigue, well, that's two things. That's not just sleep. That is your thyroid most likely is unsupported at that point in time. So, that's like an acute phase, I call that. So with any type of acute phase of thyroid issue, we want to support that well and get that well supported so that you can then build your body up. Okay, because if you're like if you've got Hashimoto's and you may or may not be taking medication, you may be just dabbling in a few supplements here and there and not doing all that much else. You might have gone gluten-free. It's like a pretty big thing in the media to go gluten-free. And you've done a few things, but you're still not feeling great. This is where I'm telling you now, exercise is one piece, but there are most likely some preceding steps before you just push yourself to go out and do a 2 kilometer run. Okay. So if you are feeling really horrible in your body, really tired and really fatigued, and then you push yourself to go and do a 2 kilometer run, that is going to cause an absolute stress on your body. And that is an absolute no-no. We don't want to do that. And in fact, I have experienced that because way back at the beginning, when I didn't really understand this condition near as well as what I do now, I remember thinking, I'm just going to bust through this, because I wasn't happy with the weight that I was putting on. And I thought, I'm just going to bust through this and I'm just going to run flat out on this treadmill. And I'm just going to run flat out because, the mind's pretty powerful. Okay. And after about 2 minutes, I literally felt like my thyroid was busting through my neck. I thought, yeah, it was like such a stress response. And yeah, like sometimes you learn the hard way, okay? So that is a situation where at that point in time, before I had all the knowledge and information and understanding, I thought that willpower could do it. Willpower cannot do it. It's not actually supposed to. We need to actually take a breath, take a step back, and really look at what's going on, find the root cause, find out what's triggering it, find out the mineral imbalances, if there are any, find out if there's any issues with your digestive system, you're not absorbing the nutrients that you need for your thyroid condition, and find out exactly what's happening with your cortisol when you're stressed and what your response is like and what happens with your nervous system. And with all of that information, that's when we can support our body to the point where we can start some gentle exercise. And doing like a half Ironman, like people say, oh my goodness, I had some conversations where people have said, oh my goodness, I could never do that. Here's the thing. I truly believe anyone could do it because with the right support and guidance, and by the way, I'm not talking you into doing this. You do you, I'm doing me. We do our own thing. We find our joy through what movement brings us joy and happiness. So I'm just using this because it's my pertinent example. Yeah, so if like with this, if of course you're not going to wake up in the morning and go, okay, I'm going to go and do a half Ironman. However, I had a glimpse of a possibility about 5 years ago. And I remember saying to my coach, I don't know, maybe I could do that. And she said, oh, let's talk about that another day. Let's just do like a 5K run first, So, that's where it started though. And then I actually forgot about it. I forgot about it. It was only this year where I really noticed finally that I was really making some shifts and I was feeling stronger and better. And after doing a certain amount of exercise, I actually felt really good because way back at the beginning, when I was still finding my balance, I was still finding out, how much exercise should I do before I stop? You know, I don't want to overstretch my body, etc., etc. Way back at the beginning, sometimes if I'd done a little bit too much, I'd have to have a good 2-hour nap in the afternoon. Okay? So if this is you, just go with that. If you've got the opportunity to have a nap, absolutely for what you've done that day, your body needs that. Without guilt or shame, your body needs that. So honor your body that. And then the next day, you would actually reduce the exercise or activity by half, because clearly the day before it was a little bit too much and you pushed too fast too soon. Because we need to nurture our body, and the way to tackle any type of high intensity or endurance sport is to always be mindful of where your body is and not to overstretch it. And if you're stressed at work, stressed with the family, stressed in a relationship, that is actually going to spill your energy out, and that's going to cause stress as well. That's going to cause fatigue, I should say. So with any type of exercise, when we're really starting to get headway to build that muscle integrity, it's important to feather it. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just gently nudge it. We don't want to go too fast too soon. Let me know if this makes sense. And then the second step is, the second step is really working on your mindset. So absolutely getting out of ego. So what I mean by that is not looking at what other people are doing and comparing, not looking at the time that you can do this in, not comparing yourself to anything, even to yourself. Just letting go of all of that and just celebrating in what you're actually doing for your body to improve your health and staying in that place. This is so incredibly important. I cannot stress this enough. Because once you start to compare with others, compare with self from before, and all of these things, it can absolutely derail you and undermine you. So keep your head where your body is and stay in the moment and trust the process and trust your body. Your body is going to give you the messages. Your body is going to tell you when enough is enough. Your body is going to tell you if it can't do it. Your body, not your mind. We don't want to be listening to the mind. We want to be listening to what's going on in our body. And, if you're sitting here listening to this right now thinking, I don't know where to start, where on earth do I start? I would just love for you to drop it in the comments, make a start. Just make a start. Drop it in the comments. Yeah? Because I'll reach out to you and we'll have a chat about that. Specifically about how we can get you moving a little bit more. Okay? Specifically about that. Because, we've all got all the things on our plate. That's life. That's life. However, when we're truly prioritizing ourselves and working on our mindset in conjunction with our body and really listening in and tuning into what our body needs, that's where we can gently lift out of that stagnation. Okay? And all while, of course, step one has to occur first, which is ensuring that your thyroid is well supported. So if right now you're listening to me and you're thinking, well, I don't feel well supported, I feel that I get stressed too easily. I feel that my energy bottoms out too quickly. You might have a flatline fatigue across the day. You might have some other signs and symptoms like hair loss, cold, or if it's hyperthyroidism, it's more anxiety and heat intolerance. You know, like if you've got some unmanaged symptoms, just drop it in the comments. Symptoms, symptom fix, symptom fix. Because when I work with clients, there's two different types of treatment pathways. Of course, we're always getting to the root cause. Absolutely, we're always getting to the root cause. That is fundamental for longevity with your health and to really get out of where you are now and get to where you want to go. We're always getting into the root cause. However, in the meantime, to help you with some symptom relief, there can be like a dietary lifestyle management plan, treatment plan, even supplementary plan, just to help your body while we're getting to the root cause and while we're recalibrating your thyroid. Okay, so there's kind of like a two-tier approach. There's, okay, I'm just going to give you a classic example. If you've got systemic inflammation and you're feeling quite inflamed, it might be that on a cellular level, your mitochondria, which is like the ever-ready battery of your cell, isn't working properly, and maybe you're not producing enough coenzyme Q10, which is a fundamental enzyme that our body produces. And it might be just that you're really under par and you need some supplementation with that just to help give your body and your cells some rev while we're working on finding the root cause. That's just one classic example, but there's many different examples. It could be to do with your digestion, liver function, hormonal imbalance, you know, any of the things. All right. So again, just reiterating step one, supporting your nervous system, supporting your thyroid, so that we can move into step two, which is adjusting your mindset. You know, stepping out of ego and just going, oh, you know, I'm just going to give this a crack, but I'm always going to be listening to my body. I'm not going to overstretch. Okay. And that's step two, out of head into heart. Step three, get a goal. Get a goal. I would say that by default, human beings are goal orientated. Let me know, are you goal orientated? Tell me, are you goal orientated? Yeah, just drop goal in the comments if you're goal orientated. Because like for me, I find it's really exciting. It just builds that excitement to be able to achieve a goal. Because otherwise, you're just doing the same thing day in, day out, and you're not really shifting. Because with our body and attaining a level of fitness, we can kind of plateau, and the body needs to thrive. Like the body wants to exercise. So if we're just plateauing and we're doing the same workout routine in the gym every time we go to the gym, or we're doing the same walk around the block, or we're doing the same half an hour cycle, or we're doing the same however many laps of swimming in the pool, or whatever it is that you're doing, if you're doing the same day in, day out, yes, of course it's better than nothing, 100%. Of course it's going to be providing you with a level of fitness, 100%. However, to really gain that extra level of fitness so that you're really feeling so incredibly well and getting that 10 out of 10, we need to stretch it. And the way we stretch it is when we're feeling good. When we're feeling good, they're the days that we stretch it a little bit. We don't do it when we're feeling tired or overwhelmed or we've got too much stress on our plate. It's when we're feeling good. We optimize that time. This is why having a plan and a structure needs to be flexible. It absolutely 100% needs to be flexible, because if you're just sticking to a structure that's in your diary without any consideration to how you're feeling in your body, this is going to trip you up 100%. So it's really, really important to always be listening to your body. The other, so pick a goal. You could even attach a goal to, you know, raising funds for a charity that you're really passionate about. It could be anything. It could be a goal where you actually grab a buddy and actually do something with your buddy and you do it together. So you've got an accountability partner. You know, there are so many different ways that you can keep motivated to achieve your best level of fitness. Who likes training solo and who likes training with a buddy? Let me know. I'm a solo fan. I like training alone because I actually do. I don't mean to. It just happens. It's like an open eye meditation. Like my brain just literally um, has an amazing rest because I don't have any music. I don't like we're each to their own, right? Like I'm not saying this is what you do. This is just what I do. I can't listen to any music. I don't have anything on me. I'm literally just listening to the wildlife, you know, the birds and the creatures and the critters. And that's just, oh, for me, it's just the best. It just gives me that zen and I'm getting fit at the same time. So, yeah, I'd love to know. Just let me know. Do you prefer solo? Oh, there's new comments here. Do you prefer solo or do you prefer teaming up with a buddy or going into a group? Because there's different ways to do things and it's about finding what resonates with you for you to actually stay accountable to your goal. And if you're unsure about your goal, just type goal, please, and I will help you because I happen to be very well connected and we can find out the best plan for you. All right. Solo. So Sharon likes solo as well. Yeah, so do I. You know, every time I have gone exercising with another person, I've had an accident. A couple of years ago, I was running, too much of this going on, and I tripped over and did a huge gash in my knee that got infected and yada, yada, yada. Last year, I was doing a bit of this talking. I hadn't even done one revolution of the pedals on my bike. And because I wasn't focusing, I fell over and broke my wrist. First bone in the body that I've ever broken, and it happened to be from a standstill bike. Would you believe it? Anyway, that happened. So for me, it's solo. I just love being on my own when I'm exercising. Alrighty, so let's get back into it. So step 4. Okay, step 4 is about understanding the reason why you're exercising. So exercising, it builds muscle. Muscle is what stores the energy for your body. It also helps to balance out blood sugar. It also helps to lower cortisol because cortisol is supposed to have a rhythm and it's supposed to rise and be at its peak within 1 hour after waking up in the morning. So that is very, very normal. So if you were to get a blood test in the morning and your doctor said to you, oh, you've got high cortisol and it's first thing in the morning, I'm telling you now, it is completely normal and it's useless getting a blood test for cortisol because it really does show you nothing. The best way to understand what's going on with your cortisol is have a cortisol rhythm test, which, you know, there are many companies that do that, but I use Dutch Plus because that also measures hormones and it's done through saliva or urine, and you get the points across the day to find the rhythm. And that's what's actually going to give us the information because we want to know what the cortisol is doing across the time. But I don't want to get off track. But if you're interested in that, just write cortisol and we can have a chat about that. So what exercise does is it delivers a good stress. It's a good stress to the body, okay? Which is why after we do an element of or level of exercise, we have the release of those endorphins and we feel really good. We feel amazing. Who here feels amazing after doing exercise? You know, you may have begrudged it. You may have thought, oh, I really don't want to do this. It's raining, or I just can't be bothered, or I'm too tired, or whatever it is. And then after you've done the exercise or the activity, even if you're feeling a little bit tired, there's tired and there's tired. There's chronic tired, and then there's just tired because you stayed up a little bit too late the night before, right? There's different types of tiredness. You know what I mean. I'm sure you know what I mean. So sometimes exercise, it just brings out that energy. It just gives you that boost. It releases those endorphins that you can actually feel really, really good about the day. And this is where we start to stretch into our best level of fitness. Okay. because we're not only improving our cardiovascular function and improving our muscle integrity, we're also balancing out blood sugar. We're actually lowering cortisol. Okay, we're improving the cortisol rhythm. We're improving our cardiovascular function. We're also detoxing our body, because when we exercise, it's a natural detox of the cells. So we're also detoxing our body. So there's so many benefits to exercising, whether or not you have a thyroid challenge. Okay. So that being said, if you're wanting to feel the fittest you've ever felt and you don't know how to get there, and you've suffered from Hashimoto's, hypothyroidism, unmanaged or even managed Graves' disease, hypothyroidism, thyroiditis, or symptoms of thyroid issues, and you just simply don't know where to start, because it might be a situation where it's one step forward, two steps back, because you make a start and then this happens or that happens or this happens, and before you know it, it's been a whole week and you haven't continued, and then the wheels fall off altogether. If this is you, I'd love you to write possibility. I'd love you to write possibility, because that's exactly what I thought 5+ years ago. I thought maybe there's a possibility. Maybe there's a possibility. And now, because I've gradually improved my fitness over time, now I have a very strong and solid fitness foundation. Okay, so a fitness foundation is where, I could actually have a holiday for a month and I'm not, yes, of course I'm going to drop my fitness 100%, because it's something that needs to continue. So of course my fitness would drop, but it wouldn't bottom out altogether. It would still hold, because I've got a pretty good foundation now. So if you're wanting to get a 10 out of 10 and you don't know how to get there, I'd love you to type possibility. And you know what? I'll reach out to you. We'll have a chat. I'll give you some guiding steps for you that's bespoke for you, so that you can actually know that this possibility can be a reality for you. I hope this has inspired you. And I'm so glad that you're here. Drop a replay if you're watching the replay. Let's get this conversation going, because, and you know what, if you still believe in your heart that actually exercise to some degree is not good because you've got a thyroid condition, I would love to talk about that. Yeah, so I'm not here to convince anybody. I'm here to talk about the facts based in science, and also talk about what I do for myself and what I facilitate for my clients, so that you can actually see that there's a possibility for you to do that for yourself as well. So let's get this conversation started and let's continue it, because once you achieve that best level of fitness, honestly, you feel invincible. You feel amazing. You feel incredible. Someone asked me the other day, like, how do I feel now that I've done this half Ironman? I can't remember what I said. I think I said amazing. No, I said I feel like an iron. No, I said I feel like a Superman. Like I just felt so powerful. Powerful is the word that came into mind. Felt so powerful, because exercise, like fitness, once you get to a certain level of fitness, it actually trickles into other areas of your life, because it shifts your mindset around everything. Because then suddenly you realize, well, if I can do that, I can definitely do this, and I can do this, and I can do that as well, as long as we don't get ahead of ourselves. All right, that's it from me. Thank you for jumping on, and I look forward to seeing you next week. So next week is going to be our last live training. No, it's not actually. It is going to be our second last live training, because I have a special live training that's sneaking in between next Wednesday and Christmas Day, which is in 2 weeks' time. Would you believe it? It's unbelievable. So yeah, more to come about that later on. All right, that's it from me. Bye for now.